Our climate is changing rapidly, and we have to react and respond rapidly to be able to stop the impending danger. And so Advocacy Africa, an acronym for Inspiring Generation and Humanity Support Foundation, had this engagement with Ebonyi State government through the Office of the Special Assistant to the Executive Governor on Climate Change, particularly to fashion out ways to foster climate actions in Ebonyi State.
The target of this meeting is to have a kind of climate change emergency, because over the time, a lot of people have heard climate change. They just feel that it is nothing, but it's a major concern. Some, they just have it and keep it in their head. Some, they just feel like it's one of all those things, it's man-made stuff. But no, climate change is not just a man-made stuff, it's a natural disaster that needs an urgent concern.
Advocacy Africa is committed to a holistic, interministerial, multidimensional, and inclusive citizen-led actions and approach in curbing the rising negative predictions of the impending consequences of climate change. And so, in partnership with the Ebonyi State government and other entities, we hope to cause a significant shift in the climate action space in the state, including but not limited to creation of diverse groups to investigate climate change, because we already have our volunteers. We are looking at effective advocacy and public campaigns. We are looking at instigation of a shift in the consumption level to suit the stable climate. We are looking at the encouragement of family planning and empowerment of women through quality access to reproductive health care, education. And also we are looking at reduction of pollution of the environment. Now these things are posing threat to us. And so we must act. And if we must act now and act fast. So we are looking at encouraging alternative source of energy, as other countries of the world are doing. We are looking at ensuring effective waste management. What can we do to ensure effective waste management? Because it's one of the things that is constituting big issue in the climate change space. We're also looking at how can we encourage carbon capture. And let me, in conclusion, reintroduce our concern for emergency actions to curb this climate degradation through a responsive, collective, environmental-friendly actions and habits that will make our communities and environment safe. I am confident that if we thrive together, both as government, as individuals, and as a corporate civil society organization, that we will certainly win. If their action must begin, that action must begin, and the time to act is now. Thank you so very much.
I want to thank this beautiful organization for coming. I want to commend your uniform first. I just love it. It's so beautiful. I want to welcome you people to Climate Change Office. I want to tell us that climate change, like the operation officer said, came from the political will. Climate Change Office came by the political will of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer Chief David Ebonyi. So what we are trying to do here as climate change is to carry this subject, carry this movement down to the grassroots. We have what we call Ebonyi State School Climate Change School Program, which is running across, we started with about 14 schools across Ebonyi State, but our intention is 130. In fact, I spoke with the Commissioner for Education and we said, we are going to do it concurrently so that every school starts their own. And the idea is that, number one, we have introduced climate action clubs in all schools. Now, this climate actions club is just a social gathering of students where things about climate are being taught to them, about environment, about biodiversity, about conservation. We all teach the students there. Now we have what we call the Governor David Umahi School Orchard Program. It is running in the school. It was flagged off in the secondary school. Now, what is the idea of this Governor David Umahi School Orchard Program? It's just trying to make schools to start planting trees, telling our people why they should plant trees, and then stopping logging of trees. And through the partnership of organizations like you, because just like he said, knowledge is power. And without knowledge, you go nowhere. Okay? So when we come together and think, we produce results. Like in the development of our policy documents, which is just, we want you to join us. Okay? In the meetings we are going to do, okay? You make, because the idea is to come up with suggestions. How do we do it? How do we do it? And even now, because that our law, because I know that when the House of Assembly will try to pass the law now, they will have a plenary where they invite people to make their contributions. So we would like organizations like you to come out and say, this is what we want to be put in this law so that we make it to work. So I want to tell you that we would like to partner with your organization. The most important thing is the political way, and which is the major thing we have in Ebonyi State. We have that political way that everybody, the governor is the head, and he's pulling everybody together to join in this very good initiative.
Climate change, climate change, climate change.
The engagement has been so amazing and it has been so fruitful because it has set the tone on creating a functional policy of Ebonyi State on climate change. And now this policy is going to be climate action policy of the Ebonyi State, which Igusuf Africa is going to be part of the technical team that will be drafting that policy. It has also set the tone for the very, very essential law on climate, which Igusuf Africa is going to sponsor alongside the Ebonyi State government to ensure that there is a climate law in Ebonyi State that will drive climate actions to be able to hold down climate change in Ebonyi State. And all of these is what we are doing to ensure that our environment and climate is safe and sustainable. And looking at these wonderful and beautiful faces, our technical team and volunteers, they have been so up and doing and wonderful. And so today has been so fruitful as the other days has always been. And so together we're going to make our society, our environment and our climate safe again. So what do you have to say, Igusuf Africa? Can we say that? Igusuf Africa! Thank you.
Climate change.